Program is the work of the broadcast students at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland which were produced over the last week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
On BCIT Magazine.
A stabbing in Abbotsford leaves one student dead.
A Vancouver-based company has a unique approach to making pesticides.
And how much pain can one person handle? This stuntman shows us. Hello, and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Siobhan Litter.
And I'm Quinn Allen.
A shocking stabbing occurred in an Abbotsford school earlier this week, leaving one young woman dead and a community in mourning. Our reporter Nicole Out is following the investigation and brings us the story.
Abbotsford Secondary remains in lockdown the day after a fatal stabbing inside the school. Investigators are canvassing the scene, looking for any clues that might shed light on what led to the stabbing of two teenage students. Flowers gather outside the school to honor the two young women, one of whom succumbed to her injuries shortly after the incident. She was just 13 years old. The other victim remains in hospital in stable condition.
All morning, students gathered here at Abbotsford Senior Secondary to mourn with each other. They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday. As well, across the street at St. Anne's Church, there were grief counselors to provide support to those in need.
At this point, evidence suggests that this attacker was in no way affiliated with the district or any student at the school. We believe this was a random act of violence.
Police arrested the suspect at the scene after he was subdued by two teachers. He's identified as 21-year-old Gabriel Klein.
Mr. Klein is of no fixed address. We know that he frequents the Vancouver area and has been in the Vancouver area since approximately February, March of this year. There's very limited information we have on Mr. Klein, and for that reason we're asking for public's assistance.
Family and friends are mourning the loss of such a young member of their community. The school district says Abbotsford Secondary will remain closed for the rest of the week. Nicole Out in Abbotsford for BCIT Magazine.
We are now joined live by our reporter Nicole Out. Nicole, do we know anything more about the suspect?
21-year-old Gabriel Brandon Klein has been charged with second-degree murder and aggravated assault. The Abbotsford Police Department have just released a photo of Klein, and we've posted it online. The only thing that we know at this point is that there is no permanent address that he has, and as well, he originally came from Alberta. It's rare to have so little information, investigators have said, and they're hoping that by releasing the name and a photo, somebody who's been in contact with him will be able to let them know some information. Quinn?
Nicole, what is the latest information we have on the victims?
The young girl who lost her life is named Letitia Reimer. The other girl who was injured in the incident, she's currently stable in hospital. We can't name her due to a publication ban. On Wednesday night, family and friends gathered to remember Letitia at a candlelight vigil. The family has said that they would like privacy due to the difficult time that they're going through. At this point, grief counselors remain at the church across the street from the school, able to provide support to those who need it after this horrific attack. Back to you.
Tensions are running high surrounding the Kinder Morgan pipeline debate. Despite a protest inside the president of Kinder Morgan Canada addressed the Vancouver Board of Trade concerning the project. The board heard that the company is working towards acceptance despite being unsure of government support.
I don't know if I get a yes from the federal government. I don't know if I get a yes from Christy Clark. I'm pretty sure I don't get a yes from Gregor. But we'll continue talking as best we can. But what I'm seeing today is a willingness to cooperate between and within governments unlike I've seen in a long, long time.
The board heard that the company will be investing in creating jobs, infrastructure, and programs within the communities affected.
Community members in Mission are looking to have a bylaw upheld that would prevent their local grocery stores from selling wine. Our reporter Jaylene Matthews has more.
The new provincial policy that allows grocery stores to sell wine isn't being accepted in Mission, BC. And it's mainly because the policy doesn't favor the interests of private liquor store owners.
That would definitely take away from the people who the business is of selling alcohol and wine, and jobs would be lost. Absolutely, jobs would be lost.
The new policy bypasses an existing bylaw that prevents liquor stores from being too close in proximity.
We have this 1 kilometer rule. So, you are protected because, no new liquor outlets can go within 1 kilometer of where you are. Well, now they want to renege on that promise and allow it in grocery stores.
The city is now proposing to create a new bylaw that will enforce the rule on both liquor and grocery stores.
The decision by Mission City Council to create this bylaw came after a presentation by a local resident. He was joined by over 30 existing employees of beer and wine stores in the area that were against allowing grocery stores to carry liquor.
Mostly would because it would definitely hurt the small business people of this community and any community that comes into play.
Mission City Council wants to protect their local small businesses.
We're going to pass the bylaw that says that we are honoring the 1 kilometer rule, and we don't want to see new liquor outlets opening within 1 kilometer of an existing retail liquor outlet.
Haas says that he proposed the restrictions because he could not see any benefit to grocery stores selling wine. Jaylene Matthews in Mission for BCIT Magazine.
A company based out of Vancouver has received international support with their unique approach to making organic pesticides. My co-anchor Siobhan later visited the company's high-tech lab.
Scientist Doug Cho is looking at vials of pesticides in the lab he works for. Terramera is a company that is approaching the pesticide market in a new way.
Most of the ingredient that we use for our formulations for our insecticides, for like bed bugs and other insecticide like dust mites and cockroach and so forth, are generally we generally use safe and sustainable ingredients, and that same approach is applied to our products that we use in agricultural products as well too.
The company is currently focusing on a bed bug spray and a plant-based biopesticide.
My background is in biology, and it didn't make any sense to me that that we would believe that chemical synthetic materials that we invented would be inherently better than a biological material.
Terramera is using an organic oil called neem that is found in India and Africa.
The tropical places like India and other places, and all the way from traditional medicine, they've been over there, been using it for thousands and thousands of years. So natural compound in there that are active against all sorts of things like fungal, viruses, bacteria, and so forth.
I had really bad back pain, and I went to India, had organic food for 3 weeks, and I was completely out of back pain after that. And so I see how organic foods can really impact your body.
Recently, IKEA Green Tech has invested in the company, and they intend on getting products to the market. The Government of Canada has also mentioned a Terramera deal while in Japan. Siobhan Litter in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. After the break, a major retailer applies to distribute medical marijuana.
And UBC students are shaving down to get ready for Movember.
I chose BCIT because I know that all the programs are very hands-on. We have our own radio station, it's one of the best programs that I've ever heard of.
I am starting a job on Monday, so confidence is high.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be this fun.
A defining moment for me was when I finished my first internship and got lots of really great feedback from industry professionals.
I would have never imagined I'd be walking into the floors of TSN and thinking, I'm not a student anymore, I'm here to work.
I will be starting a job with an investigative news program in Toronto, and I'm really excited to see that grow into what will become, hopefully, my dream job.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, putting you to work.
Shoppers Drug Mart is the first major retailer to apply for a license to sell medical marijuana. Amy Quinton reports on how this will impact regulation of the drug and the future of the independent dispensary.
Soon to be seen on your local Shoppers shelves? Well, not exactly, but Shoppers Drug Mart is planning to expand their offerings to include medical marijuana products. This leaves independent dispensaries like the Healing Tree in Vancouver frustrated. Robin, the store manager, seen here on Halloween, thinks there's no place for major pharmacies in their business.
To have them big money or a Walmart-styled conglomerate taking over our business where we've grown it, we are the back and bone of this industry. We started it with our own grit. And here, Big Pharma just throws money and says, we'll take it. Thank you for your job.
While dispensaries like the Healing Tree are passionate about serving their customers and are confident in their knowledge and prescription of cannabis, some feel that pharmacies could better handle and regulate medicinal products. An opinion held by the Medical Cannabis Resource Center.
Dispensaries being medical, yes, people go there, but that's because they've had difficulty getting it in other places. That's all changing now, and certainly if the pharmacies get involved, there will be a whole line of medical. The dispensaries are good for recreational, and that's what a lot of them are holding on to. So this is the differences between a dispensary being medical versus a pharmacy or the licensed producers being held to those guidelines from the government.
Shoppers' recent dispensary application shows that demand for medical marijuana is on the rise. But the question now is who will have the supply. Amy Quinton in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
We now go live with our reporter Amy Quinton. Amy, does Shoppers plan to grow their own marijuana?
Well, the license they applied for was technically to be a producer, but that's mostly just because of the way the legislation is written. A statement from Shoppers said that they don't plan on growing their own, but rather buying it from a licensed producer.
And when do we expect to get approval for this license?
Well, the timeline at this point is not yet certain. It really relies on the federal government. The rules will have to change to allow pharmacists to fill prescriptions in a retail setting. The only way for people to legally get medicinal product at this point is through the mail.
Why has Shoppers decided to get into the medical marijuana business now?
Well, parent company Loblaws has been interested in getting into this business for quite some time, but it's really ultimately a financial decision. Demand is on the rise. There are 40,000 legal prescriptions for medical marijuana currently in Canada, and if a mainstream retailer like Shoppers gets involved, that's only expected to increase. Back to you.
Thank you, Amy. UBC students participated in the Shave Down at the Nest to get ready for Movember. Our reporter Caleb Harder spoke with a couple students at the event.
These students are shaving down to raise money for men's health. The event is part of UBC's Movember festivities.
It's when we all get together, all guys who want to participate in Movember, and they start the month either with a clean shave or, unique to this year, you can start the month with a beard like mine and then shave it right into a mustache.
The goal of Movember is to raise funds for prostate and testicular cancer. The worldwide fundraiser was started by two brothers.
They started it kind of for fun, thinking it was funny to grow mustaches, and ended up raising a lot of money that first year and again that second year.
Matthew has been participating in Movember for over 5 mustache growing seasons. This year he's being joined by many others.
My grandfather had prostate cancer, and ever since I was born, I guess, it's been close to our family, and This is the first year I actually decided to go all out and start from scratch and see how far I can get.
It's always good to, sort of show men's health and how it's sort of needs to be really sort of shown in our society. And like, it's a really good initiative, especially here at the Nest. It's just something nice to do. It's not a lot of effort, so you might as well go ahead and do it.
Last year, over 400 students from UBC raised $68,000 for Movember. This year, they hope their mustaches will push them to raise even more money for the organization. Caleb Harder in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
The Argyle Pipers varsity football team is nearing the end of their season. Justice Doucette has more on what makes this team unique from others in British Columbia.
Bajent is just like any other student athlete, except she's the only girl on her football team, and the only girl that plays varsity football in the province. Bajent joined the team at the start of her grade 11 year and hasn't looked back since.
Well, my first thought was kind of more like that would be really cool, but not really a reality, I guess. But then after like my PE teacher said it was cool, I was like, I'm gonna try it. And it was scary, but I was like, I want to try.
Argyle head coach Wayne Theobald is impressed with how far Bajent has come and still remembers when she first signed up for the team.
The first year meeting at the theater room, and there's a whole team on kind of one side and one girl just hanging out the other side, so I had no idea she was there for football. I thought she was part of the theater group. But then in the end, she came over and grabbed a piece of paper and said she wanted to play football, so I thought it was fantastic.
Bajent weighs in at around 120 pounds, half that of some of her teammates, but that doesn't stop her. She even had to convince her teammates to tackle her during practice.
It was, like, I guess understandable. Like I was kind of expecting it, but I didn't know how to almost prove that they didn't have to do that. It like took a while for me to like reassure them that it's okay. Like you can go hard with me. I'm fine with that, you know.
Bajent and the rest of the Pipers have a quick turnaround before this year's postseason. They face GW Graham in their final regular season game before having less than 2 weeks to prepare for this year's playoffs. Justice Doucette in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Coming up next, BCIT students get the chance to snuggle their stress away.
And a Surrey folk singer becomes inspired by people with brain injuries.
The most rewarding thing for me has been the relationships I developed in the program, both with instructors and classmates.
My sense of confidence has never been higher. I mean, this program's offered great opportunities to be in real world, real industry situations, and being in those moments and knowing I can contribute, I can do this.
It's exciting to be in this industry and to meet lots of great people and to make amazing friends.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, realizing your potential.
Standby graphics, ready, camera one.
If you want to experience the fast-paced world of news,
today on BCIT Magazine, striking,
make magic on a movie set,
frame,
and action,
or bring your creative ideas to life, BCIT's hands-on training will get you started. BCIT Television and Video Production. Your possibilities start here.
If you plan on throwing away your razor this November, the Mo Miler is a 5K fun run in Deer Lake Park on Saturday, November 5th. It's $5 per person or $10 for your whole family, and all the proceeds go towards supporting men's health.
The YMCA Megathon takes place on November 5th. Each location will have activities planned from Zumba to swimming class to even weightlifting challenges. For more information, you can visit vanymcamegathon.ca.
And the U.S. presidential election is on Tuesday, November 8th. But if you don't want to see the results from home, you can head down to the Rio Theater where they'll be showing the entire CNN broadcast live.
Have you seen any celebrities around town or accidentally walked through a film set? Well, Vancouver Public Library wants you to share your stories and your pictures in their Inspiration Lab. The event takes place on November 8th, 10th, and 12th. Admission is free, but registration is required. For more information and to register, you can call Vancouver Public Library. Welcome back. BCIT's drone program was recently canceled due to a lack of interest. Our guest today is BCIT instructor Eric Saczuck. He's hoping to get the program back and running by the spring. Thank you for joining us today. So what kinds of things are you doing to promote interest for the program?
So we're having meetings on campus with the different departments, with students that might be interested from those departments. Also, we're going to the associations around the Lower Mainland and BC and promoting it on the BCIT website as well.
Can you tell us a little bit more about these associations that you're approaching?
Yeah, they're basically geomatics related, so anything to do with surveying, digital mapping, and so they're GIS focused on acquiring information and processing it into map products.
And why do you think interest has lowered?
I think our initial offering of the course was poorly timed with the marketing release, so we didn't just get the interest based on the timing.
And where can people learn more information about the program?
I would direct people to the BCIT website first and foremost, and also any of the associations and groups around the Lower Mainland that promote GIS and geomatics. They would be a good place to start.
And what can a potential student learn from the drone program?
Well, we focus on safety, flying the drone in a semi-automatic mode, but the focus of the course really is for image capture, image processing, and what you can actually do with the photos that you take.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck with the program.
Thanks, you're welcome.
BCIT students had the chance to put their stressful study schedules on pause Tuesday as volunteers and therapy dogs from St. John's Ambulance came to the campus for a visit. Our reporter Jaylene Matthews has more.
Sometimes all you need is a big, sloppy kiss to turn your day around.
I'm not even thinking about school. I'm thinking about how cute this one is.
In response to midterm season, the BCIT Student Association arranged to have some furry friends stop by and visit any students who might be having a rough day.
At BCIT, the course loads are much higher than a lot of other post-secondary institutions, and students are often juggling a lot, and it gets really stressful, so we try to do as much as we can to help lower stress.
Therapy dogs are popular visitors in hospitals, senior centers, airports, and now universities.
When I see students here and they're smiling and they're laughing and they seem relaxed and happy, I hope that that's a good thing and that he's having a good effect on them.
Studies have shown that spending time with therapy animals can help to reduce stress and also improve your overall health and well-being.
I'm pretty stressed. Yeah. So I don't know, these little guys are helping me out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, really calming that anxiety for sure.
The pups were ever popular this year, with lineups of students stopping in for a snuggle and heading out with a smile. Jaylene Matthews in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
The following story has footage which might not be suitable for all viewers. How many animal traps can one man put on his body in a minute? Our reporter Kyle Benning met the Canadian stuntman who has broken a world record.
Sweet Pepper Klopek is used to going after the cheese. Putting his tongue in a mousetrap is nothing new for him. Pepper and his twin brother Burnaby Q. Orbax have done all sorts of stunts, from lifting things with their eyes to taking a taser shot in the mouth. Last week, the self-titled Monsters of Schlock entered the record books after Pepper put his hands through 38 animal traps in less than a minute.
Because for these, you can't practice, you just do it. So your body is saying, don't do it, don't do it. And we have to override that. Once you do, then you're off and running. But the first couple...
Orbax says breaking these kinds of records is what the duo is all about.
Our show's a freak show, but it's a lot more slapstick and vaudeville than it is traditional freak show stuff. So we try to take elements of our show and magnify them to set these Guinness World Records.
This was the 25th time the twins have broken a world record, and the 5th time they've done it in Vancouver. Sweet Pepper broke the record during the Peonies Fright Nights, and the group have performed at the event for the last 9 years. For their 10th anniversary, the brothers are looking at doing something even bigger. Kyle Benning in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Surrey folk singer-songwriter devotes his time to play for brain injury individuals. Francis Lee reports on how people who suffer from brain injuries became the inspiration behind Ranj Singh's music.
Playing for people with brain injuries sounds like an unlikely concert. Yet for Ranj Singh, it's nothing short of his best performance ever.
When we first started out, a lot of the folks were sitting back
and not really paying attention and not wanting to be part of it. As we started playing more, they came forward and the toes started tapping and they were smiling and singing along.
Ranj has been playing for people with brain injuries for almost a year now at Semiahmoo House Society in Surrey. It's part of the weekly acquired brain injury program.
If you see the room when Ranj plays, everybody comes together as one.
Everyone, including Sandy, a brain injury individual who sings along to every one of his songs, including those she's never heard before.
Well, I haven't forgotten my music. I love singing. Well, I always did love my music too. I had every record I think that was ever produced.
Sandy, along with others, have inspired Ranj. So much so, he wrote I'm Still Me, a song dedicated to the Semiahmoo ABI participants.
The common theme amongst everybody was that I am still me. I'm still the same person I've always been inside. It's just people keep shutting the door on us, and they keep thinking that we're disabled to a point where we can't even communicate properly.
Ranj, like all the staff, believes that music truly heals, taking them to a place they've never forgotten.
To reflect back on their lives and have memories that jump into their heads about where they were when they heard that song.
Ranj continues to inspire and be inspired by the folks at Semiahmoo Society House. Frances Lee in Surrey for BCIT Magazine.
Johnny Depp is set to be part of Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in a secretive new role, according to Warner Brothers.
If you have any questions regarding the show, you can contact us at bcit-broadcast.com or bcitbroadcastnews.ca.
Thank you for watching BCIT Magazine. I'm Siobhan Litter.
And I'm Quinn. We now leave you with footage from Surrey folk singer Ranj Singh.